Jurgen Herre, you're an expert on GCC markets. Could you tell us a little bit about that? I mean, are GCC markets a good place for investors from outside the region to think about these days?
First of all, I think you have to put the size of the market into perspective of the rest of the world. And when we are talking about the GCC, we are talking about a population of roughly 35 million, 1/3 expats, 2/3 locals. That's the market size, and this is roughly 1/10 of the US population. Should international investors invest in this place? From a risk diversification point of view, no doubt. Can they invest into this place? Maybe not. And I'm talking about the institutional type of investors. And this has to do with title ownership in land. Can you own, as a pension fund, a land in this part of the world? And in most cases, you can't. Can you enforce your ownership rights based on the legal system? Question mark. So we see a lot of institutional type of investors looking at the region, but I haven't seen that many investing in the region. Which maybe brings me to another point. Who are other typical international investors? And investors who can take a greater risk, like hedge funds also, they are having a very close look to the market right now. And I'm sure that we will see the first wave of investments from those type of investors very soon.
What about individuals who are cash rich at the moment? Is it a good investment for them?
Well, long term, yes, because the governments all around in this region are investing massively into infrastructure and education, and both is good for real estate. And in addition, you have, talking about demographics, you have a very young population. So as they grow and mature, they need a space to live, they need a place to work.
Of the GCC countries, Saudi Arabia is of course by far the biggest in terrain and in population. Where would you see the most friendly market, or can one say that at all?
Friendly market in which respect?
For investors, say, for these individuals or the cash funds which you mentioned.
I mean, certainly Dubai is the most investor-friendly market, and that's the reason why Dubai had success in the past, and it has not to do only with investment, it has to do with doing your business, the way how they ease to do business in the region. And certainly Dubai suffered a lot from the international crisis, because Dubai was and is the city which was exposed the most to the global world, compared to Saudi Arabia, which was relatively isolated in the past. So they did not suffer that much in the last months from the international crisis.
You say Dubai. Would you extend that to the UAE as a whole, to Abu Dhabi, for example, or you think Dubai is quite different and more attractive?
I wouldn't say more attractive, but different, and different in a way that Abu Dhabi is behind Dubai in sense of a real estate cycle, and so they can react much better to the current crisis or supply-demand pattern than a market like Dubai.
We hear a lot these days about Qatar. Is Qatar a good place as well for investment at the moment?
Well, to a certain extent, yes. However, you always have to bear in mind the size of the individual markets. And if you are an institutional investor, you don't want to invest in 1 or 2 buildings only. You need to have a certain size of a marketplace to justify an entry of the market. And when you talk about Qatar or Bahrain, also maybe good markets, not many investors are looking at those markets because they're simply too small.
Would that also apply to Oman, Kuwait, say, and Bahrain?
Bahrain, I already said, certainly to some extent Oman, Kuwait, yes. It boils down to UAE and Saudi. And Saudi clearly is the market with the highest population and also with the highest percentage of nationals compared to Dubai or Abu Dhabi.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.